America doesn't need platitudes from white people. America needs white people to recognize and own the privilege that each of us has internalized. Embedded in American history, this entitlement has shaped the racial, social, and political structures we live with today. It is up to us to demand and create systemic change. There is an invisible aspect of me that has yielded protection, eased suspicions, and opened doors ever since my birth. A superpower of sorts. My birthright by virtue of the invisibility of my skin. This superpower is ever present and eases my way in every conceivable situation. My forefathers paved the way for me to achieve success and acceptance no matter the circumstance. They stole the land that I deserved and destroyed the lives of its previous occupants. They stole another people from another land to cultivate my land and service my every need. They instilled in me a fierce allegiance to freedom, and I grew to accept that freedom as my right. This foundation guaranteed that my ancestors would accumulate property, holdings that would later be passed down as inherited wealth. This inheritance, combined with my invisible power, allowed me to check all the right boxes when I applied for a home loan, car loan, business loan, any loan. Of course I qualified. This superpower came to my aid when I applied for a job. Naturally, I had the right schooling. Oh, of course I had never been to prison. Reflecting back on my college years, I think how we were so young and so wild, not like the wasted youth that didn't bother to go to college. Sure, we did some cocaine, but none of us squandered our time on that awful crack. That's a route straight to prison. I recall walking home one evening from a night out with my girlfriend. It was getting dark and there was this group of thugs up ahead. We sped up, looked down, hugged ourselves tight, and shook the entire 20 feet it took to get through that alley and back to a less seedy district. We were terrified. Once I stopped for something at a grocery store a few miles from my home, and when a ruckus flared up, the attendant security guard's eyes glided right over me, as though I didn't exist, landing instead on a person who looked similar, yet different from me. Another night, when I returned home late from work, leaning heavy on the accelerator, I didn't fret when I was pulled over. I confided in the officer about the long day I'd had, the dinner I was dreaming of, and I was quickly let go with a simple warning. My local grocery, of course, is replete with the most delectable treats. I live in a world of gustatory delights. Obviously, I can afford them. What? Doesn't everyone have such a store in their neighborhood? One day I received a call from my cousin, and we agreed to meet up for an outing at the local nature preserve. My cousin has always amazed me with his birdwatching brilliance. On this particular occasion, we encountered a couple walking their dog. As they approached and saw what we were up to, they quieted their dog and then joined us to marvel at the rare sighting of an ivory-billed woodpecker. One weekend, I went for my bi-weekly jog, branching out into one of the wealthier adjoining neighborhoods. It's a beautiful area, and I made a note to tell my friends about the inviting trail and the magnificent trees dotting the green space adjacent to the development. It was a breathtaking run that left me feeling so free. A couple of years ago, my family held a reunion, and everything was just as it should be. I've always had a special place in my heart for the men in my life. My father, joined by my brothers, uncles, and grandfathers. Everyone was there in good health and with families of their own. The men, they complete the circle. I can't imagine if one of them was taken. There was this time the police knocked on our door. It was a polite knock, but they had gotten mixed up and had the wrong address. Shockingly, a murder had apparently taken place just a house or two down. I remember the kindness and shame expressed by that ever so embarrassed officer as he apologized for troubling us. My goodness, the rallies occupying the streets across the nation. My son and his buddies recently attended the local rally. I'm so proud of him, tackling racism like that. He came home to tell me all about it, and over our dessert we shook our heads at the plight of these dark-skinned souls, finding ourselves distraught at the tactics of baiting the police. My superpower is secret and routinely unnamed, a constant that yields enormous power and privilege. I know the police are there to protect people with my superpower. I do yoga. I've learned to breathe now better than ever. I am invisible. So, quote, normal. I am white.